In this video, we're going to do a full review of the iPhone 12. Is this the best redesign of the iPhone? Do you need to upgrade if you already have the iPhone 11? I've got a few complaints about it, but we'll talk about all of that in this video. Welcome guys, if you're new to this channel, I'm Travis Tech, and I try my best to help you come to a purchasing decision. So today, we're taking a look at the iPhone 12. Originally, I was going to do a full unboxing experience, but there's already thousands of those videos out. So instead, we're going to jump straight into my review, and I'll give you my thoughts about the latest iPhone release. If this video helped you out, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. So let's start with that redesign. This year's iPhone has square edges similar to the iPhone 4 and 5. There's 5 colors to choose from in black, white, green, product red, and blue. Originally, I was going to get that new blue color, but seeing it in store, it didn't look as nice as I wanted it to be. So I picked up the product red instead, and that color is actually growing on me. The square frame looks really sleek and modern, even though it's a recycled design from a couple years ago. The phone feels very solid despite how light it is, but I will say that the round design was more comfy in my hands. The aluminum frame looks really nice, and early bend tests show that it's built really well. There's also IP68 waterproof rating for 6 meters up to 30 minutes. Inside, we get the new A14 chip. The rundown for that is that it's faster, more efficient, and supports 5G. The iPhone 12 is not the first 5G phone, but with more people switching over to 5G devices, companies will build up their infrastructure to support it. Where I live in Canada, I don't get the full 5G speeds, but I do see some increases compared to LTE. There's also millimeter wave for the iPhone 12 for certain countries, but again, not available in Canada. If your phone does support it, you'll see a band for it on the right side of the device. 5G does consume more battery, but to combat that, the phone will automatically switch on and off 5G whenever it thinks it's necessary. And speaking of battery, the iPhone 12 actually has a smaller battery capacity compared to last year's iPhones. Overall, the battery life did improve, but it's disappointing to see Apple move backwards in innovation for something as important as battery life. The iPhone 12 uses a Super Retina XDR display. Unfortunately, it's not 120Hz, which I think is a missed opportunity. 120Hz for the iPhone 12. And come on Apple, it's 2020, how do we not have 120Hz screens yet? I think even some budget Androids have 90Hz displays. At least this year, we get high-resolution OLED panels for all of the iPhones. Last year, we had a split between LCD and OLED, depending whether you got the Pro model or not. And this year, it's pretty packed with specs. It's got a typical brightness of 625 and a peak brightness of 1200 nits when you're watching HDR content. Also, it's got a really high contrast ratio of 2 million to 1. And of course, OLED saves a lot of battery life. This is honestly one of the biggest improvements in the iPhone 12, but yet still a disappointment. To protect that display, there's that new ceramic shield. It offers up to 4 times better drop performance, and it looks really good from other tests done online. As for scratch resistance, I'm sure we're all waiting for Zach from Jerry Rig Everything to scratch away at his phone. A major headline is MagSafe. We all know that it was revolutionary for the MacBook, but for the iPhone, currently it's just a charger and a way to attach extra accessories. So let's talk about that MagSafe charger. It costs $40 in the Apple Store, and it requires a USB-C power adapter of 15 watts or more. And that's not provided with the charger or with this year's iPhones. So if you don't have one, you're gonna have to purchase one separately. The MagSafe charger comes with a 3-foot cable, and I really wish it came in different sizes. The cable is long enough for your desktop or bedside table, but I'm used to a 10-foot cable, so it took a while to get used to. It takes about an hour to charge my phone to 50%, which is pretty fast, but obviously still not as fast as a wired charger. So what's so special about MagSafe? Well, accessories are coming out, things like cases and wallets made by Apple, as well as things from other manufacturers. I hope to see magnetic phone holders, as my current one doesn't really work with the magnets directly. I will say MagSafe charging is pretty convenient when you're playing games or watching something on Netflix. The cable runs through the middle of the device, so you don't have anything sticking into your hands. There could be a potential issue down the line of the MagSafe charger leaving imprints on the case or even the phone itself. But so far, it wipes away easily. I think that MagSafe for the iPhone will eventually evolve into something just as revolutionary as it was for the MacBook. I'm thinking fast charging, data transfers, and smart accessories. But for now, it's just a glorified charger that lines up automatically. The iPhone 12 uses the same 12-megapixel sensor as the iPhone 11 for the wide and ultra-wide cameras. We do see improvements in software as well as in that wide-angle lens. For that lens, we get an f1.6 aperture, which gives us 27% better low-light performance. I tried it at night, and it reduced a lot of noise from the image. But I did see a lot of light reflections, especially when pointed at a bright sign. I feel like this problem's been getting worse ever since the iPhone 10. The ultra-wide lens doesn't suffer from the same issue. And I noticed that when shooting with the ultra-wide, there's not as much distortion as there was last year. That means there's very good lens correction going on here. I did hope for a slight megapixel bump, but low light performance is important for everyday use. Night mode is now available for all cameras, including the front-facing one. That means you'll be able to take night mode selfies for the first time. And it works really well even handheld. I took some pictures with night mode on and off to give you guys a comparison. Deep Fusion images are now available for both rear sensors, and Smart HDR3 is now better at bringing out details in super bright photos. Overall, these are great improvements for the iPhone 12 camera system. The iPhone 12 is the only phone that supports shooting in Dolby Vision HDR, but you need to know that Dolby Vision is just a format of HDR. You might have heard of HDR10 or Technicolor, which are other popular formats. My Samsung S20 already had the feature to shoot in HDR10 Plus even before the iPhone release. But with that being said, Dolby Vision shoots in incredible color and clarity, so no matter what, we'll be getting more HDR content that will look incredible if your device supports it. The speakers are pretty decent. Loudness-wise, it's a bit louder than last year's iPhones, and will even fill a small room with sound. Of course, they do distort a little bit at max volume, but that's pretty much expected with a speaker so small. So should you upgrade? Well, the iPhone 12 is a little bit weird. No doubt is it the best iPhone yet, but if you're coming from the iPhone 11 or even the XS, it's a little bit hard to recommend. If you're coming from the iPhone 11, the biggest upgrade will be that OLED screen. Going from LCD to OLED is a complete game changer. With that being said, the iPhone XS already had an OLED screen, so I really feel like Apple missed out on including a 120Hz screen this year. MagSafe is still very early on in its life cycle, and the camera improvements are mostly for low light situations. I'm personally still upgrading to the iPhone 12 series, either deciding between the 12 Pro or 12 Pro Max. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. The iPhone 12 Pro comparison is coming out soon, as well as other feature comparisons. So like this video if you liked it, comment down below so we can talk more tech, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.